Okay, this is going to be an interesting discussion. So, I am considering taking one of the weight loss drugs, either Ozempic or Wegovy or Mounjaro or Zepbound. My only hesitation is accessibility. I live in Ghana. Affordability, it's supposedly between $500 to $1,000, and obviously side effects. But I want to tackle more of the mainstream resistance to the whole concept of weight loss drugs. So, the number one is that we must only lose weight the natural way. And I get that. I get that because I'm also like, I don't like drugs. I don't like taking drugs. But then, so I understand that reaction, right? Because I'm also averse to taking drugs. But when I think about it a little bit, when we talk about natural way, then why do you take a car? Why do you fly? Why do you use science or technology in any way to make your life easier? Why don't you just walk wherever you go? And I'm not trying to be cheeky, but sometimes I feel like we glorify suffering like it's a badge of honor. Like, imagine if you have an aunt who leaves you $10 million. Are you going to reject it and say, I want to work for my money? So for me, when people sort of say, hey, I lost 50 pounds and I lost it the natural way. I lost 30, I lost 100, I lost it the natural way. Good for you. But it doesn't mean that if someone does a combination of medication and diet and exercise, that it's a bad combination. It's like if I don't take certain drugs, does that mean that someone else who takes it is a bad person? I don't think so. So for instance, I go to therapy, but I don't take any medication for if I feel anxious, if I'm feeling depressed or whatever, I don't. But it doesn't mean I look down on anybody else who takes medication for any type of mental health condition. So I think in some ways we need to be okay if people prefer the natural way, and also be okay if someone wants to do a combination of diet, exercise, and some drugs. The other thing that I think we need to adjust our minds to is sometimes people think that if you choose the medication route, it means you're lazy. Or if you are overweight, it means you're lazy. And that can be far from the truth. Like for me, I find myself justifying all the time my physical activity life. So I'm always explaining, oh, I work out a lot, I do this a lot, because when someone sees you, they assume you don't do any of those things, which may not be the case. So someone may look at you and think you're sedentary, but I work out an hour minimum, 6 days a week, an hour minimum. And sometimes even if I'm sick, I still push myself to do something. An hour minimum. I swim, I play tennis, I do strength training, I do cycling, I do so many things. I do kickboxing, right? And I also have zero sweet tooth. So I don't do cakes and donuts and chocolates and pizzas and burgers. I don't eat like that. Anyone who's been around me knows I don't eat like that. So I work out. I don't eat sweets and fats and all of those things. I do intermittent fasting, right? I eat between 10 and 6 p.m. I do all of those things. And there are people who are out there who genuinely are trying so hard, but they're facing things like inflammation, hormonal imbalance, they're facing so many different things that genuinely impacts their ability to lose weight. Like genuinely. I'm not talking about those who do zero, who just maybe eat bad, and don't move at all. I'm talking about those who try so hard and maybe are in perimenopause or in menopause and genuinely are facing uphill battles. We can't look at someone and make an assumption that they do nothing. And the other thing that people mention when it comes to weight loss drugs is side effects. Okay, being overweight has side effects. Taking a drug has side effects. So what's it going to be? Because, being overweight can lead to death and can shorten your life through diabetes, cardiovascular issues, cancer, and so forth. And taking any form of GLP-1 drugs can also have side effects. I've read about nausea, vomiting, rash, itching, and gastro issues. I haven't yet read about fatal side effects from weight loss drugs. It doesn't mean it doesn't exist. I just haven't read about it. So if you're overweight, you're facing certain, like confirmed, you're going to be facing certain issues. If you take the drugs, you're going to be facing potential issues. So certain life-threatening issues versus potential issues. I think all I'm trying to say is sometimes you may need a drug. Just as whether you're dealing with a physical ailment, you're dealing with a mental ailment, you're dealing with something of the sort, you may need a drug in addition to all the other things your doctors may tell you, like sleep and rest. So I'm exploring it, to be honest. You can let me know what you think.